From family events to volunteer opportunities to community happenings, there is a lot going on in your community. Learn about all the possibilities and opportunities on this episode of Community Hotline.
Hi, welcome to Community Hotline. My name is Monica Weitzel. We're here in Gresham at MetroEast Community Media. Happy to have you join us here tonight. And with me tonight I have Magda Silva, who is the Senior Account Executive for Be the Match Foundation. So nice to have you here. Now I know when you hear the name Be the Match, that doesn't tell people exactly what it is you do. I know what it is because I've checked into this and I've been a part of this for quite a while, but could you tell our viewers exactly what Be the Match is all about?
Sure. So Be the Match is actually operated by the National Marrow Donor Program. And what we do is we help patients who have mostly leukemias and lymphoma and other blood diseases and blood cancers who need a marrow transplant to actually survive and have a cure for their disease. And we do that by providing unrelated donors to patients who need a marrow transplant. Only about 30% of the time will there be a sibling match, because that's where we go first to see if there's a match for that patient. 70% of the time that patient will need to come to us to find an unrelated adult donor.
So in order to survive, in order to live, so you're given the gift of life.
We are given the gift of life.
It's a pretty darn serious thing.
It is.
Yeah.
It really is.
Now, the bone marrow transplants and now cord blood also,
yes,
right, has been going on for quite a while, but the Be the Match Foundation is sort of new, is it not?
Yes. Recently, we've also created a foundation. We do development to be able to provide funding for the cost of doing the lab tests. Anytime that a potential donor registers to be a donor, it's a $100 charge for the lab fees, and so we also collect donations from from corporations, from different sponsors. We also do a lot of fundraising through individuals who would like to help cover the charges. Okay. It's totally voluntary, though. We don't require that anybody give us a donation to enter the registry.
Okay,
it's
so
voluntary.
Somebody is interested in saving a life, and who wouldn't be honored to be able to save a life? I mean,
Sure.
to me that is just a huge thing. And I know there are people that don't. There's people that are scared about the idea of doing a bone marrow donation. But if they were interested in doing it, and we can talk about that a little bit more, but if they're interested in doing it, how hard is it for somebody to sign up to be a donor?
It's actually really simple. It only takes about 10 minutes of your time. It's a consent form that has mostly contact information, and it also has some medical history information. You do need to be healthy to be able to be a donor. Then we administer it's like a Q-tip. It's called the buccal swab.
You have one here, right?
Yeah.
Can I open this up and take a look at this?
Yeah,
so maybe
please.
we can get a camera on this. And okay, so this is what is sent to the donor, right?
Yes.
And this has in here, well,
there's 4 swabs, actually. 4 swabs.
So they're like Q-tips.
Yes.
Okay, and they take this and inside of your mouth, right?
Yes. Just imagine there's a T on your mouth and that there's 4 quadrants, and you swab inside and the cheek cells, and then you take another one, and then you do a different quadrant, and you just do all 4, and then we send that to the lab.
So then they take them, and you just place them in
Just put them in the little envelope there,
they stick right in there.
Yep.
And then you can seal it up.
Yeah.
And mail it in. It's all pre-addressed, stamped.
Yeah, it's barcoded, so
it's not painful. It's easy. It's quick.
It's extremely easy.
Yes.
The hardest part of registering is probably filling out the form.
Isn't that always the way?
Yeah, but the swabbing is pretty easy. It just takes a few seconds, and you could save a life by taking these steps. Yeah.
I was talking with you earlier, Magda, and I signed up with Be the Match in 1987, which is a really long time ago.
That's actually when we established.
Yes, it was brand new, and I think it was through the Red Cross at the time. I was a blood donor. And And I just was called last year. First time ever that I got called, and I'm a match for somebody, which I find very, very exciting. The little boy who needs the transplant is not ready for one yet for a variety of reasons. And you told me some possible reasons why he may not be ready, but this was sent to me. And now, do you do this? You don't do this until you're ready to be a match, or do you usually do it now right away?
We would do it now right away.
Okay, because back then we didn't do this then, but they sent this to me after they told me I was a match, so I did the little swab thing. It was so easy.
Yeah. The way we do it now is there's various ways. You can order a kit online at bethematch.org. Okay. You can also go to a Marrow donor drive. You can go to our website and find where, you put your zip code in and do a search to see where there's a Marrow drive near you, and we administer the test right there. But if you do it online, we'll mail you a kit within 48 hours. You swab yourself. We give you instructions, and then you mail the kit in. Right. And then going to a drive, we would do it right there on the spot, and we'd administer the kit with the swab. And so there's a couple of different ways you can do it. Yeah. And when you did it, we used to take blood.
Right. Yeah. Right. When I very first signed up, yes, it was a blood donation.
So we don't do that anymore. It's all done through the swab.
Changed. A lot's changed since 1987. That's a long time ago. Yeah. So now you talked about blood or marrow drives.
Yes.
When you have a marrow drive, is it usually to benefit a specific person, or is it just a general marrow drive? How does that work?
Well, actually, there's a variety of ways a marrow drive comes to be. One of the ways is if a patient needs a transplant and they can't find a match within a registry, they may have some marrow drives, especially. And one of the things we target is their specific ethnic group.
So there's a greater chance of finding a match in your own ethnic group.
Most likely you will, because DNA is inherited. So most likely you will match somebody in your own ethnic group. So, but at those drives, we also encourage everybody to register. Because most of the patients that are doing this, they realize there's a need not only for them, but all the other people that are in the same predicament that they're in. So people are very generous, and they want everybody to register. Another way that marrow drives come to be is through community groups, churches. We do a lot of college drives. I was just at the University of Portland yesterday, and we do drives sometimes with the blood banks, and sometimes we do them just standalone with us being there, and we promote those drives. And
I don't think people realize how easy it is to sign up for this.
Yeah, and it's really easy to also hold a marrow drive. All you really need is a little event, organization, some volunteers, a space to do it in, and it can create some miracles there for people.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Okay, so say I sign up, which I did, and I get called, I'm a match, which would be a huge honor, I think, just to be able to know that you have the potential of saving somebody's life. That's a big, big deal.
If you get called even once to be a donor, you can consider yourself extremely lucky.
I think that's great.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
So I was so excited.
It's a huge deal.
It is.
Yeah, it really is.
So tell me the process then. What happens next?
Well, what will happen is we'll contact you, via phone, email, and mail, regular mail, and we'll let you know that you're a match. And we would like you to get back to us as soon as possible. When you do that, then you'll be asked to go through a complete medical evaluation, and we also do an information session with you so that you know exactly what's going to happen and what this is going to entail. They'll also tell you what kind of donation that they're going to need you to make. So there's two different types of donations. There's marrow, and then there's PBSC, which stands for peripheral blood stem cell donation. These days, about 75% of the donations are done through peripheral blood stem cells, which is very similar to a plasma donation. For those people that know what that's like at the blood bank,
that's easy. I do that all the time.
Yeah. One of the things that's a little different, it might be a little longer donation, and we do give you 5 days of a medication to produce more blood-forming cells in your body. The other one is the marrow donation, which most people are aware of, where we take a needle and we place it into your hip and we aspirate the marrow from your hip. But you do go under general anesthesia for that, which is something that a lot of people are not aware of. So those are the two procedures we would ask you to do. So you're told at the time which one of those two procedures you're going to do. Then we would, over a 4 to 6 week period, we would make those appointments and work with your schedule to be able to do that. And then we also have to be mindful of the patient's situation, because at the time we're getting the patient prepared for that donation. So it's a balancing act, if you will.
Yes.
Yeah, yes. And that's what would happen.
So for the donor, what what can they expect physically as far as recovery time and after effects, that kind of thing?
Mm-hmm. So the marrow donation, there would be a period of maybe a day or two where you would maybe not be
100%.
Go back to your 100% or go back to your normal functions. Okay, and then
but only a day or two.
Yeah, a day or two, and then 2 weeks of soreness in the lower back.
Okay.
For the peripheral blood stem cell donation, the injections that we give you of the filgrastim, which is the medication we give you, they do cause a little bit of flu-like symptoms before the donation. Some people say they feel kind of muscle aches, and then they do that for 5 days, and then you go in and you do the donation, and most people recover right after. They don't feel anything. They feel back to normal. They go back to work the next day. So for the peripheral blood stem cell, it's a little bit of discomfort before, and for the other, it's a little bit after. So that's what you can expect.
Tell me what I imagine you've talked to a lot of people who have been donors and recipients. Mm-hmm. Tell me about some of the people that you've talked to. What is the reaction of somebody who's had the opportunity to donate and the opportunity to receive that?
Yeah. Donors always say that they would do it again in a heartbeat.
Really?
They wouldn't even hesitate to do it. It was one of the most meaningful things they ever did in their life.
I have no doubt.
It was, just really something that they didn't expect to feel. They were a little fearful at first, but once they did it, they had no qualms about it. As far as the recipients, there's so many success stories out there. I'll tell you a little bit about one. She's now one of my volunteers. Oh, yeah, cool. I met her at a donor drive, and I asked her to register because she was beautiful and young and healthy, and I said, well, why don't you register? And she said, well, I'm a recipient and I can't. And I said, well, wow, I'm so glad that you're doing well, and would you like to volunteer with me? And she said, of course, so Great. She became an ongoing volunteer, and now she's doing so well that she's actually in college. And she's going to be doing cancer research.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
That's great.
And she's doing very well, very bright girl, and she has a bright future ahead of her, and it's because somebody decided to take that step.
It's amazing what you can do. It's such a simple thing. I think a lot of people don't realize how simple it is to do, how easy it is to do, and my God, what a difference they can make. I know that your big push is for recruiting people and trying to get more people doing this. So if they're interested, they can go online and to bethematch.org,
yes.
right? And I'll tell you, if you have any qualms at all, read some of those stories on your website. I mean, I can't even read them without crying.
I know.
They're very touching from both sides. And now people meet their donors often, don't they?
They do. After 1 year, if you both agree, the donor and the recipient agree, you can meet each other. And I've seen some amazing, reunions. They're just, you get choked up every time.
I'm sure. I'm sure.
Yeah.
So now you have, you said you do some fundraising. You have an event coming up later this year. You want to tell me about that, Magda?
Yeah, it's our Be the One run. Okay. It'll be our second annual here in Portland. And it's on July 15th of this year. And right now,
should be nice weather, hopefully.
Yeah, and right now we're recruiting for volunteers and organizers, and of course people who just want to do the run, corporations who want to do the run. We have corporate teams that are doing it. Good. So, and we're looking for also corporate sponsorships to be able to fulfill.
And the run is it's a short run, correct?
It's a 5K. We also have a trot so the kids can participate as well.
Okay.
Yeah. And you can also walk it.
Okay.
So,
well, good.
Yeah.
For those of us who really don't like running so much anymore. What do you need? What can our viewers do to help if they want to be involved with Be the Match and with bone marrow and cord blood and all this good stuff? Yeah.
So I recommend that you go to our website, bethematch.org. We also have a lot of social media sites. We have a YouTube channel. We have a Facebook page. There's lots of inspirational stories there. But you can register to volunteer online.
You can always use volunteers, I imagine?
Yes, we can always use volunteers at marrow drives, also to fundraise and do fundraising events for us. And there's just a lot of ways you can help. Good. And then register, of course.
And register, yes. And first of all, register.
Yeah, register. Have that
and how old do you have to be to to register?
You need to be between 18 and 60, be willing to donate to any patient in need, and meet the health guidelines. If you've ever been denied to be a blood donor, our guidelines are a little bit different. So, for example, if you have had a tattoo or a piercing, low iron, or have traveled outside of the United States, those might be some reasons why you might not be able to donate blood, but we will accept you into the Marrow Registry. So, you know, don't let that stop you.
Good, good, wonderful. Well, wonderful. Well, thank you so much, Magda. I think we're just about out of time here. So if people are interested, I hope that they go to your website, and please, I encourage people to register for this. It's a huge thing, and it makes a difference in the lives of people like my wonderful coworker who has received a transplant, people that are otherwise wouldn't survive. So if you have any qualms about it, go to the website, check it out. You'll be glad you did. Thank you so much, Magda.
Thank you.
And don't go away. We'll be right back with another segment of Community Hotline.